Why didn't you file a case against the former president? You had all the means, you had all the power to do so.
That they had also so much difficulty accessing possible witnesses at the time.
All right.
Hindi po madali talaga ang kumuha ng mga pag-aamin sa mga police officials na sila ang mga inutusan para pumatay.
Senator De Lima, bakit hindi kayo nag-file ng mga kaso kung talagang naniniwala po kayo na meron ho talagang death squad?
The relevant, real evidence, testimonial evidence, wala pa po sa aking disposal. Because at that time, wala na nga akong nagiging resulta ng mga nagiging investigation din.
Hindi ako nag-compromise. Sinabi ko ito. Pagka pumasok kayo dyan, walang compromise, walang ariglo, walang usapan. But yun ang style ko. Nag-warning ako lahat narinig ng Pilipinas.
Kung sinabi niyo pong uubusin ko kayo lahat, papatayin ko kayo lahat, ito ba ho yung naging resulta kaya marami hong naging patayan, Ginoong Pangulo?
Literally, yes.
That has been his position nung tinanong ko ho siya, nung nag-appear siya sa public inquiry, na there's no such thing as DDS. But there are. Inducing, encouraging, and prodding people to kill directly or indirectly is not part of the duty of an executive official, whether it is mayor or president. Malinaw po, yung Davao Death Squad andyan.
Kung lahat man ito, kung totoo, palayan niyo ako ng kaso. May korte. At sinasabi ninyo na bakit ninyo nalaman na matay, na ganun-ganun. So, ibig sabihin may witnesses kayo.
Yung mga pwede talagang mga maging witnesses ay hindi pa willing, takot pa na mag-testify.
Gusto ko ang syudad ko maganda, malinis, at livable. At sa awa ng Diyos, ako ang nauna sa Pilipinas.
Davao is the safest city. I think that is belied by statistics. It registered as among those with highest data on killings or murders. So how can it be a safe city?
Maraming namatay, sir. Marami talaga. Thousands, I would say. Pero ang namatay, sir, mga kriminal.
Magandang gabi mga kabalitaan. Panoorin ang latest headline para di kayo nahuli sa balita. Narito ang latest Congress hearing ng Extra Judicial Killin and War on Drugs.
We cannot destroy lives. Yan po ang sagot ko dun sa very passionate defense of the former president as to his policy of killing alleged drug offenders, alleged drug pushers, alleged drug users. We can destroy drugs, but we need not destroy lives. I just wish to emphasize that. The former mayor of Davao City and the former president of the Republic of the Philippines for so long have evaded justice and accountability for the thousands of those killed in the name of the so-called war on drugs. I will make a comprehensive presentation and also comment on those revelations by Mr. Kerwin Espinosa during the Quadcom, and perhaps he is expected to reiterate that here I was hoping you would be here,
Yes.
including Colonel.
You will be there as a resource person, ma'am. You'll be there as a resource person, not to defend yourself. Wala, hindi resource person po kayo. Okay,
Mr. Chair, if I
okay
may.
sa Senate
Thank you,
President.
Mr. Chair. A few questions addressed to former Senator De Lima. During your time as chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights, when did you start serving as the chairman of the Commission on Human Rights, if I may ask?
I was appointed in 2008
Up to 2010.
to 2010.
All right.
When I was appointed as the Secretary of
All right.
Justice.
Did you conduct investigations regarding EJ case?
Yes,
Madam
the CHR and bank
All right.
conducted a public inquiry right there in Davao City.
May I know kung ano-ano po yung mga lugar na inimbestigahan nyo tungkol sa EJK?
Yung tungkol pa sa lugar, it was actually the entirety of Davao City because of the phenomenon of DDS. At inimbitahan nga po namin the former mayor who appeared and acted as resource person, and mga ilan-ilan na mga opisyal, maraming opisyal actually, the city councilors, barangay chairman, PNP officials. Only that, halos wala na nag-appear dun sa mga nakausap namin discreetly, confidentially, who shared their knowledge about the DDS. These are also self-confessed DDS members, just like Edgar Matubato. Kaya lang po, in the 2009 inquiry, wala pa po sila Edgar Matubato and Arturo Las Cañas. Na-mention yung mga pangalan nila, pero wala pa po sila doon. Hindi pa ho namin sila na-access at hindi ho na-present doon sa DDS inquiry.
So wala ho kayong results ng investigation. Were there any cases filed because of your investigation, Madam Senator?
Okay, when I was appointed in 2010, meron po ako yung aking mga personal investigation notes, pero wala pa ho yung naging resolution. Now, we turned over the records to the Commission on Human Rights, and then later, they came out with the resolution. That was, I think, in 2012, June 20, 2012. Yung resolution nila, one of the recommendations is for the filing of an administrative and criminal cases against then former Mayor Rodrigo Duterte and some other officials. What I know is that this was referred to the office of the Ombudsman, but I think later on, Mr. Duterte was cleared of, there was no finding or no cases filed.
So the former president was cleared? Am I
No,
correct?
it was not really cleared because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the main reason why no cases were filed with the Ombudsman against former Mayor Duterte and then President Duterte is that
If you-
nung linabas na po yung from the Ombudsman is he was already the president.
Well,
So on
during,
the presidential immunity.
in the course of your investigation, when you were CHR chairman, and you thought, and then you think that the former president was involved in killings in his hometown in Davao, why didn't you file cases against him?
The investigation was conducted, but the problem was that those who were in the know, yung konti ho na mga self-confessed DDS members at that time, they're not willing
No.
to testify.
When you were DOJ secretary, why didn't you file a case against the former president? You had all the means, you had all the power to do so. When you were secretary of the Department of Justice.
I actually referred the matter of when Edgar Matubato came to us for witness protection. I rinifer ko po uli yung the DDS matter
So what
to
happened?
the wala po. Wala po.
Bakit wala? You were a very, very powerful member of the cabinet during that Aquino administration. You did not do anything?
It's not
To
that I
pursue
did
the
not
case?
do anything.
To pursue
It's
the
just
case?
that I asked the NBI to pursue further the investigation. Pero wala na po na i-submit sa akin na report. They were telling me that they had also so much difficulty accessing possible witnesses at the time.
All right, one more thing, Madam former Senator. Why is it only in Davao that you had this investigation? Bakit Davao lang? Why were you so focused and why are you so concentrated in investigating Davao?
We were focused on investigating the so-called DDS phenomenon because we have read some reports about it, foremost of which was the report of the UN Special Rapporteur Philip Alston. And he did come out with that report citing certain findings of the UN Special Rapporteur Philip Alston. And meron din pong report, yung Human Rights Watch, they called it, "You Can Die Anytime," also referring to the DDS phenomenon. So we felt that at that time, because of these reports, and our CHR regional office did confirm that there were killings, but they could not tell us, or they refused to tell us that it was actually the doings of the DDS on orders of then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. But the insiders, the ones I mentioned kanina, I think there were 3 of them, which we interviewed secretly or discreetly, they did say that there was such a thing as a group as a Davao Death Squad, and then formed by the former mayor, and then getting orders also from the former mayor, something that were validated later on by Edgar Matubato and Arturo Las Cañas.
For the years, if I may read, for the years 2001 to 2009, under the Arroyo administration, 91,762 killings were reported, or an average of 10.196 killings per year, 850 killings per month, or 28 killings per day. On the other hand, for the years 2010 to 2016, under the Aquino administration, there were 85,878 recorded killings, with an average of 14,313 killings per year, 1,193 killings per month, or 40 killings per day. You were the Justice Secretary during the Aquino administration. Why did you not investigate these killings?
All right. May I start by saying that on the matter of EJKs in general, especially with respect to the killings of activists, I did recommend, and it was adopted, there was this Administrative Order number 35, creating an interagency committee to look into the various drug killings, to the various activist killings, targeting members of progressive groups, leftist organizations, and that was somewhat rampant during the time of former President Arroyo. Now, bakit wala pa po yung drug killings? Kasi nga po, pinapapursu ko pa sa NBI. It was not the real focus then of Administrative Number 35, which is the Special Interagency Committee to address extrajudicial killings. Now, talking about the Gordon report, you mentioned the Justice Committee report, which was subsequently headed by former Senator Dick Gordon. Sinabi nga niya po yun, na bakit yung EJKs lang, bakit yung ibang mga EJKs ay hindi natin kailangan imbestigahan, o hindi natin inimbestigahan dun sa Senate Committee. Mukhang may problema po sa ganun. Kasi Ang nakita ng committee, ng majority committee in coming up with that committee report is that, well, hindi actually nila nakita na may special complexion at the time, at the start of the drug war killings beginning 2016 under the Duterte administration. I'm not talking about the drug war killings kasi wala namang ganong war on drugs specifically in Davao City, although among those, or many of those victimized, were also alleged drug offenders, aside from petty criminals and other kinds of criminals. So, nakita dawat yun, and that was the very point of my resolution that I filed calling for an inquiry, na medyo ibang fenomeno nito ngayon sa war on drugs, na ito sa ngalan ng war on drugs ay may mga pinapatay in numbers, substantial numbers, in the name of war on drugs. Kaya dapat, hindi yun naging issue talaga. Bakit hindi na lang natin imbestigahan yung buong mga pangyayari ng mga EJKs in various administrations? What they failed to appreciate, I'm talking about the committee report, is that the focus of my investigation ay yung mga dumadami na halos araw-araw na pinapatay since day one of the former president's assumption into office, and even before his official assumption into office, meron na talaga na mga pinapatay araw-araw, halos araw-araw, nakita natin yon.
Thank you, ma'am.
So that's supposed to be
Mr. Chair.
the focus.
Ma'am, teka muna, Senate President Pro Tem. No? Reminder to everyone, especially the members of the committee. Ang subcommittee natin, ang instruction natin, Philippine War on Illegal Drugs. Okay. I know malaking overlap niya sa EJK because marami siguro ngang napatay in the name of Philippine War on Illegal Drugs. But this is not strictly an EJK hearing or investigation, okay? Basta klaruhin ko lang po sa inyo lahat, lalo na sa members na subcommittee. May mother committee tayo, yun ang instruction sa atin. Investigate the Philippine War on Illegal Drugs.
I'm sorry, but I have to respond to the remarks of Senator De Lima. It is only fair na bigyan niyo ako ng 1 minute. And I have read, this is part of my speech, but I want to make it of record. Ito yung the long and short sa trabaho ko nung mayor ako pati presidente ako is that the jobs nung dalawang trabaho was never easy, and it was not meant to be. I have tried to do the best I can to address the problem of illegal drugs and without compromise. Kasali na lahat yung naririnig niyo. Whatever it is, hindi ako nag-compromise. Sinabi ko ito. Pagka pumasok kayo dyan, walang compromise, walang ariglo, walang usapan. Do not do it in my city. Nung presidente ako, sabi ko, bitawan ninyo. Kasi pag hindi, magkakaroon talaga tayo ng problema. Ito na nga itong ngayon eh. As I have tried to do the best I can to address the problem of illegal drugs firmly and without compromise. Yan ang gusto ko lang iiwan dito bago ako aalis. O bago ako alis sa mundong ito. For all of its successes and shortcomings, It was not a perfect one. Maraming mali. Baka may maraming krimen. Alam mo, gusto ko lang iiwan ito sa Pilipino. I would never have any other chance maybe in the future. That for all of the successes and mali o ano, I and I alone take full legal, moral responsibility. Yan ang iniiwan ko sa inyo.
Mr. President, kanina pa ho kayo tingin na tingin sa amin. Hindi kayo, lagi kayo tumitingin sa kanan. Hindi ho kayo tumitingin sa kaliwa. Nagpapansinan na ba ho kayo ni Senator De Lima?
Wala maganda dyan. Dito lang.
Anyway,
Mr. Chair.
to be serious, on a
Yes,
serious
Mr.
note,
Chair,
I think,
I beg
Senator
the
Jinggoy,
SP
Senator
Pro
Rizal.
Tempore to lead us in setting the tone that this is not a laughing matter.
I'm
Yes,
not,
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
I was not joking.
I was just, para ma-lighten lang yung mood, Mr. Chair. Anyway, on a serious note,
Yes, okay.
Mr.
Continue.
President, how do you assess the campaign against illegal drugs during your time, Mr. President? Do you consider it as a success, Mr. President?
Mr. Senator, it is a continuing problem for the country and for the entire world. The drug problem is a very serious and pernicious, virulent ailment that the country is facing. Panahon ko and the previous presidents, yung panahon ko, hindi siguro ninyo nagustuhan, not you, yung the entire country, I am addressing the entire country. Baka hindi ninyo nagustuhan. But yun ang style ko. Sinabi ko nga, I tried to do the best that I could. Eh kung nagkulang ako, pasensya. Pero ang solusyon during my time was a call of duty of the president. Ako yun. Kasi ako yung presidente sa panahon ko. At hindi po ako nagkulang, Mr. Senator. Nag-warning ako lahat narinig ng Pilipinas. Huminto kayo sa droga. Bitawan ninyo, drop it. Kasi magkakaproblema talaga tayo.
Na meron ho kayo sinasabi, uubusin ko kayo, papatayin ko kayo. Ano po ibig sabihin? Sino po yung uubusin ninyo? Sino yung papatayin ninyo? Ito ba yung mga user, mga pusher ng illegal drugs?
Ito na guys, ang Sweet Night Fragrance Collection na flavor na whipped vanilla and spice, wild vanilla at ang men's blue. 99 pesos lang, pero legit na amoy mayaman at recommended by influencers. So order ka na?
Yes, sir. Lahat. Hold-upper, kidnappers.
Hindi lang sa drugs?
Hindi lang droga, sir. Lahat po. When I was mayor, kalaban ko lahat ang criminals. Huwag naman yung mga estafa. Wala akong pakialam dyan mga yung mga tseke-tseke. Yung mga kidnappers sa Mindanao po, marami yan. At yung mga lawless elements doon, when they go on a rampage, they take over the entire municipality. I-hostage na lang yung municipality, yung bangko lahat doon, hino-hold up at yung police hindi makagalaw kasi nakapalibot sila and there are civilians. And they cannot start a war because the civilians eventually will be killed in the process. Pati sila.
Nung sinabi niyo pong uubusin ko kayo lahat, papatayin ko kayo lahat, ito ba ho yung naging resulta kaya marami hong naging patayan, Ginoong Pangulo?
Literally, yes.
So, pero wala ho kayong inuutos sa mga dating chief of police ninyo,
Sir.
chief of PNP na pumatay.
Warning lang na istorya man lang yan, sir.
Chismis lang ho.
Alam mo, pagka mayor ka o presidente ka, pag sinabi mo, hoy, huminto kayo dyan, masama yan, illegal yan, walang mangyari sa syudad mo. Pag sinabi mo, ina kayo, huminto kayo, papatayin ko kayo. Pag hindi sila huminto, of course, the police would come in. Sabihin ko sa police, pag naghawak ng baril, ito yan sila, dumaan yan sa Davao lahat. Koy, pati, ito, si Danao, lahat yan sila, dumaan ng Davao. Ang order ko talaga sa kanila, pag maghawak ng baril, patayin mo na para one less criminals. Bukas mag-hold up na naman yan, may poproblema na naman tayo. Ganon rin sa puser.
So, Ginoong Pangulo, nung mayor po kayo ng Davao, do you confirm the existence of the Davao Death Squad?
No, sir.
Wala ho
Wala.
Davao Death Squad. So, ano po yung iniimbestigahan ni former Senator De Lima nung siya'y chairperson ng Commission on Human Rights? Ang iniimbestigahan po niya yung DDS, if I'm correct. Am I correct?
I don't know how the term was coined.
Senator De Lima, were you investigating the Davao Death Squad when you were chair of the CHR?
Yes, that was the focus.
But the former president doesn't confirm the existence of the Davao Death Squad.
That has been his position nung tinanong ko ho siya, nung nag-appear siya sa public inquiry, na there's no such thing as DDS. But there are people, there are witnesses who said that there is such a thing as Davao Death Squad. It may not be the correct term, or it may not really be or explicitly called the Davao Death Squad.
Who
But, euphemistically.
who coined that name, that phrase, the Davao Death Squad?
I think it was media, it was certain sectors, certain groups.
But it was not the CHR which you headed before, Madam Senator.
We knew it to be as Davao Death Squad because of the various reports. But it did not originate from us, the term Davao Death Squad. What is clear to us is that there was this group of assassins, and some of them are actually part of the Davao City Police Office. And there are also the abanteros, the assassins themselves, with respective handlers. And already, Mr. Matubato and Mr.
Yeah.
Lascani all heard from the horse's mouth that there are indeed death squads, and pointed to certain former PNP chiefs or chiefs of Davao. These are very clear. Davao Death Squad to liquidate criminals, suspected criminals. Inducing, encouraging, and prodding people to kill directly or indirectly is not part of the duty of an executive official, whether it is mayor or president. Malinaw po, yung Davao Death Squad andyan. Marami pong sinabi dyan tungkol sila Matubato and Las Cañas. And Colonel Garma has confirmed that there is such a group, only that they are covered by code of silence. Hindi po madali talaga ang kumuha ng mga pag-aamin sa mga police officials na sila ang mga inutusan para pumatay. Ang dami pong mga dinarrate sila Matobato and Las Cañas tungkol sa mga specific cases of killings na yung order either pinapadaan kina Sonny Benaventura or kay Las Cañas, and at times even from then Mayor
Mr. Chair,
Duterte himself.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Thank you,
the
ma'am.
good senator.
Yes, you have the floor, you have the floor. Go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
former senator is jumping into conclusion. Let the committee decide whether indeed there is an existence of the Davao Death Squad.
Senator Estrada, may I
Yes.
just...
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Mr. President.
One statement. Kung lahat man ito, kung totoo, palayan niyo ako ng kaso. May korte. At sinasabi ninyo na bakit ninyo nalaman na matay, na ganun-ganun. So, ibig sabihin may witnesses kayo. O, file the case in court or file the cases in court. Sabi ko nga dito sa ano ko, mine and mine alone. Gusto ko ang syudad ko maganda, malinis, at livable. At sa awa ng Diyos, ako ang nauna sa Pilipinas. Alam mo bakit, sir? Ako po'y empleyado lang ng gobyerno. I started as a prosecutor. Kaya kapa ko yung kriminalo, pati yung mga criminals.
She did not file any cases. You were present, Mr. President, when Senator De Lima, or when she was the chair then of the CHR, you were present during the investigation, Senator De Lima. Bakit hindi kayo nag-file ng mga kaso kung talagang naniniwala po kayo na meron ho talagang death squad?
Yung mga pwede talagang mga maging witnesses ay hindi pa willing, takot pa na mag-testify against the former mayor.
All right, when you were Secretary of Justice, you had all the power. You were a very, very powerful cabinet member under the Aquino administration. Why did you not pursue it?
Because at that time, wala na nga akong nagiging resulta ng mga nagiging investigation din. Because again,
Madam Chair,
mahirap
Madam
kunin-
Chair, Madam Senator, you were a very, very powerful member of the cabinet during the Aquino administration. You had all the resources. You had the NBI at your disposal. Lahat ng mga government agencies were under your disposal. You had the ear of the president. Bakit hindi kayo nag-file ng kaso laban kay Mayor Duterte?
At that time, the relevant, real evidence, testimonial evidence, wala pa po sa aking disposal. Although I did try, yung sinabi ko po kanina, na rinifer ko na muna sa NBI. So, kaya lang, yun ang naging report, binalik nila sa akin. Now, they're trying, pero nahihirapan din sila na i-access yung mga witnesses.
Mr. President,
Kayo, yung
Mr. Chair.
sinasabi po kanina ni former President Duterte na Davao is the safest city, I think that is belied by statistics. I don't have the exact statistics now, but I read certain data. It's not the safest city. It has
So what is
among
the safest city,
highest,
as far as you
I
know?
would not know. It was it registered as among those with highest data on killings or murders. So how can it be a safe city?
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, with the permission of Senator Jinggoy,
I think the former president wants to answer the accusations. These statements
Mr.
of
President,
former
yes, you're
senator.
recognized.
Maraming namatay, sir. Marami talaga. Thousands, I would say, from yung naging mayor ako. Marami. Ito yan sila. Dito yan sila lahat. And they would tell you, si Danao, si Koy, si Yung buwa. Ito si Senator Bato. Maraming namatay, pero ang namatay, sir, mga kriminal. Alam mo kasi ang Davao is a crossroad kasi ang unang nag-bloom sa Mindanao, tagaroon ka man, sir, ang Davao. Kaya saan yung progressive at saan yung pera negosyo, nandoon rin yung mga kriminal kasi ang negosyante pati ang kriminal magkasama yan. Kung saan yung pera, mga negosyante, nandoon yung mga kriminal. Kaya ganon. Kapag kabubo ka na mayor at hindi mo takot kang makulong, ako, di makulong, di masama kulong. I can make the confession now if you want.
Mr. Chair.
Talagang niyayari ko. Pero wag mo naman mga pulis kawawa naman. Ha? Meron akong death squad.
The statements made by former Senator De Lima. During the investigation here in the Senate, during her term, when she was still a senator, wala pa rin nakitang ebidensya tungkol dyan sa mga DDS na tinatawag. Nung CHR chairman siya, wala rin nangyari sa mga investigation at wala pa rin nakitang ebidensya. Nung secretary siya ng DOJ, which is a very very powerful cabinet position, wala po rin siyang mga nakitang ebidensya. At hanggang ngayon, yun pa rin po ang sinasabi niya, wala pa rin gustong mag-testify, wala pa rin siyang kinakasuhan. So I think that is a matter of incompetence, Mr. Chair.
Hindi ko
Sige,
po
response.
nagustuhan yung ganung conclusion na
Okay.
wala akong ginawa o that incompetent. Malayo pong description sa akin yan. I always do my job. Depende sa mga circumstances, depende rin sa kung ano talaga yung makakalap. And hindi ho tama na nung Senate inquiry, kasi nandun po si Matubato, present ko nga po. Pero after I presented him, inalis na po ako as Senate chairperson.